My name's Brittney Winters. It's really hard to relive all this stuff, so you kind of have to bear with me. My dad signed me out of school whenever I was 14 years old, a freshman in high school. And by the time I was 16 is when I first used meth. And I got pregnant. My dad made me get an abortion. And then I had my first baby when I was 19. And 6 months later is whenever I found my dad dead. And that was when everything changed, really. Everything changed. And then I ended up in jail by the time I was 20. Was in there until 2005. And when I got out, I stayed clean for a little bit, but not long enough. And then had my second child in 2009 and was clean for 8 years past that. And then recently, 19 months ago, got into trouble. And that's where I was. I was basically addicted to everything, and that I was in a relationship for 10 years. And decided to leave it because it was toxic for me. And it took 2 years, and whenever it was final, I lost residential custody of my kids. And 6 months after I lost custody of my kids, somebody just so happened to be in my house that was using. And I was like, all right, well, this is a moment in time that I'm going to make a choice. And I chose to get high, and it was just gone from there. It literally took everything good out of me. You know, I lost my house. I had nowhere to live. I had no vehicle. I had, nothing but people that just wanted to use me for whatever they could. Just to where your whole existence is diminished. You basically have nothing. And whenever I got into trouble, I thanked the people that arrested me. I thanked them, And I went to jail, and I got out that next day, and every day from that day I got up and I literally fought. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what direction I was going. I literally just one step at a time figured out how I was going to do it, and I had a lot of people along the way that God had placed in my life. He really had, Steve Airy being one of them. I saw him on a whim, just on accident, and he was like, hey, what's going on with you? Why, what, are you in trouble? Like, there's this program, Churches Embracing Offenders, and he called Tony that minute, called him on the phone and was like, here, you have an appointment to go see him. You need to go and see him. And I missed my first appointment and called and made the second appointment and showed up and realized that I had to show up. From that day forwards when everything really changed. I got accepted into the program, but what happened that was cool is that when I first got out of jail, I needed help paying my electric bill, and I needed to go to the food bank because I knew I didn't have any money, and I didn't know how else to do it. I didn't know how else I was going to do it. I was like, okay, well, what do normal people do? They probably go get help from somewhere, but... So I went to the township, and they gave me this list, and it's like a list of like 35 different food banks and churches that you can go to for different resources. And I just went to Simpson's. I don't even know why I went to Simpson's. I honestly don't know why. I picked that church, and I went there, and I got food from the food bank, and because I was going to get food from the food bank, I thought it might be okay because it said something about signing up for helping with the clothing bank. I went to the community meal, and I sat with a couple, Buddy and Angie Higgins, and they were so kind to me. And I was like, why are they talking to me? They don't know that I'm going through withdrawals. They don't know that I'm in all this pain, or maybe they do. I don't know, but they were so kind to me. They really were. And so a month later, I met with Tony and got accepted into Churches Embracing Offenders, and I didn't know what that entailed. I had no idea what I was going to be doing. I really honestly didn't. And he told me that I would be going to Simpson's United Methodist Church, and that Buddy and Angie would be my mentors. And I was like, I think I know them. And then when I got there, it all came into play. I think that I cared more about the spiritual thing that was happening than they did, but now that it's gone on this long and we're this close, there's no denying that it was God that placed us all together, perfectly placed, all of us where we were supposed to be in His timing. And like, I didn't realize the beauty of that until now, you know, until having all this growth and becoming a different person. So that's where my journey started there. And I started Celebrate Recovery, and then went on to Thinking for a Change. And I've really done a lot of stuff in the last year, a whole lot of stuff. I have not stopped. This is the first month that I've not had 3 different classes to go to, or school, or Kairos weekend meetings, or YCC every weekend, or like, and I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm exhausted from running around, but I know that it's God giving me a little break. All these things are things that have just been in my life the past year, that in 1 year I've changed everything. I've never had relationships like I do now. You have what you're left with once you lose all the bad traits is you have people that you have to be accountable to. And that goes back to being accountable, you know. They have expectations that, you know, that they make up front. I expect you to take care of yourself, or I expect you to tell me if you need something. And like, I've had a lot of people tell me that they're gonna be there for me. And you know, these people show up, and these people are counting on me to not fail. But I know that if I make mistakes, they're gonna be there to gently tell me. Or on the other hand, if it's Tony, he might be gentle but nudge me a little harder than most people. But I haven't given him any reasons to really nudge me. You know, I've just been cooperative, which is huge. And my family sees it, man. My family sees it. And my friends that are really my friends, you know, they see it. They see it. If I would have learned some of this stuff early on, I wouldn't be sitting here right now like, oh, I just grew up. This is the year that I grew up. I finally grew up. And, you know, no matter how many years I didn't do drugs, and then I was clean, and then I wasn't clean, and I still didn't know how to be Brittney. And I like to think of myself as a strong person, and I know that I'll make it through whatever happens, you know, because I've been blessed with all these people and all these tools to get through it. Do I feel like it's going to be productive for me to go sit in a prison? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be productive. I don't know. You know, I feel like there's so much more I could do out here, you know, and sometimes I'll encounter people that get upset because I might go to jail or prison. And I'm like, you can't be upset. I did this to myself, you know. I'm solely responsible for these mistakes that I've made, you know. I realize now how each event in your life has absolutely 100% reason to be happening when it's happening, you know. I feel like I had so many mornings whenever I got in trouble. I had so many mornings, and I just didn't listen. And it was like, okay, I'm pulling the plug. He just pulled the plug. He literally said, all right, little girl, little child, you don't get to make decisions for yourself anymore, and I'm getting ready to steer you right where I need you to be. It's almost like building a dam. You know, it is. And it's like, okay, you want the water to go here? Well, this is where Brittney's going to go. I'm going to put this wall here. I'm going to put that wall there. I'm going to make sure that she has fear in her heart so she doesn't go that way. You know, and that's what he's done with me. And it's absurd how obvious it is, you know. It really is. no matter what I go through, I have to keep that faith. I have to have that solid foundation of faith. I have to know that it's going to be okay. That if I just can wake up tomorrow, I'll be all right. And if I can just do what I need to do, I'll be all right. There's not too much going to be put on my plate, and that's why I get to rest at the moment for a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of rest right now, but I'm exhausted because I worked really hard on all of it. The only thing I really voluntarily did was sign myself up for school and made it through welding school, which was a feat for me because I was broke and money was tight, but I made it through that. And then serving on Cairo's team, which I didn't think I'd ever be able to do that. And that was another thing God called me to do because I shouldn't have been able to be there on that team. I didn't think that I would ever serve on a team. I left wanting to, I really wanted to. I was like, how can I help? And they're like, you have to be an angel. And I'm like, brat, I don't want to do that. I want to be on a team, I wanted that. And God answered it. I got the phone call and I was like, what? I actually get to, and I got to do a talk on choices and be a table leader, and that was an experience. And that's where the good stuff comes from. It's whenever I'm not getting, but I have something to offer. And for most of my life, I didn't feel like I had anything to offer a man, my family, any situation. I really had no value. And now I do. I know that I do. I've got my mom telling me she's proud of me, Wow, what? Like, never, have I done anything that's proven worthy of praise. And I have older women that have been going to church for years at Simpsons that tell me I brighten up their day and I'm a light to their day. And I'm like, really? I'm just being me. I don't know what I bring to you. I'm just a recovering addict that was a junkie. And, being transparent, would sit in a bathroom to shoot up and my daughter would be sitting out there crying, wanting my attention, and I didn't care. And 95% of the people that meet me today, would never believe me if I told them that because they see the mother I am. And they accept me. And I don't know why. I just try to be genuine with everyone, My expectations when I got here would have had to have been, well, this is just all going to go away and I'm probably not going to have to do much, go to church, that's it, that's all I'm going to have to do. I really didn't know. I didn't know what to expect, And what I've gotten out of it has been life-changing. I don't know how I lived any other way. I really don't. I don't know. I was a miserable person all the way around. I had a good moral compass, but I just couldn't keep it lined up, And I have gotten every single tool a person needs to survive and live and go forward in life from starting this program, really, because it led to everything else that's happened. It really has. To Cairo's and worship and knowing all the music that I know and the people that I know and, everywhere I go, I see these good people. They're good people. They're not bad people. I don't run into bad people. I run into all the good people, and they're my friends and my family. And I don't know. It's really beyond my expectations, everything that's happened. My life is completely different. It'll never be the same, no matter what happens to me. And I feel terrible for my choices, but I don't have to carry the burden of that anymore. I can feel bad, and do everything I can to fix it, which I feel like I have, And there's tons more stuff for me to do. There's a lot more to, he's not done with me yet. He's nowhere close. There's stuff that that I'm gonna do, that's gonna be known, you know, that's gonna be important. I don't know what all goes on in the background of CEO. All I know is that there's hundreds of people collaborating with the same purpose, and that is to transform and save people's lives from ill thinking or self-harm, addiction, any kind of flaw that we can have as a human. It's addressed and mended. And I don't know who all the people are that help with this, but these people, they're selfless, and it's not free to do it. I realize that. And I mean, I appreciate everything that's been done for me, every phone call that's answered, every time somebody behind the scenes has made something happen, the volunteers for the classes and showing up and not being paid, and like the stuff that goes on is vital to someone like me's success. And I don't know where a bunch of people would be without the support, the financial support. You know, I believe in it 100%. So thank you for everything that's been done for me, because I wouldn't be where I am right now.